You can feel free to start at any point from, oh, I've broken it yet again. Right. This is just honestly a waste of time.
Just hold it like a man.
I am a man. Muhsin, yes,
Are
I
you a
am
man, Viraj?
I
What
am.
defines
I
a
am.
man? Go on.
How do you say something without pissing off every single community?
Just say it. Say what you feel. What's in here? And in here. And sometimes in there.
What makes you a man? That's a good question, you know. What makes you a man?
Not crying.
No, that's bullshit. Men cry.
Here's what makes you a man. What you want to do is, you want to put all your emotions in a little box, yeah? And whenever something bad happens, you shove it in that box, and you don't let it out. And then eventually, right, you're 45 years old, and it's your son's 4th birthday party, and your missus says something that winds you up, and you just ruin the party for everyone, and you cry in the shower for 45 minutes. Then you get a divorce. That's being a man.
I think being a man is having a pair of male genitalia.
Male genitalia.
It's like having a dick. That's what makes you like a male.
That's not what I was looking for.
Okay.
I was looking for a more philosophical answer.
I don't think there is a philosophical answer for that. I think there is a lot of societal constructs about what makes a man and what doesn't make a man.
Yeah. All right. Which of those constructs do you not like? Yeah.
The crying one. I think the crying one is a crap one. I think.
Should men cry?
No, of course men should cry. We're humans as well. Just because females cry doesn't mean men can't cry. It's fucking human emotion, right? Yeah. You cry, I cry, my mum cries, my dad cries.
I don't cry. I'm too manly.
Yeah, of course.
No, listen. There's some of these constructs. They call it toxic masculinity, don't they?
I think that's the phrase.
I would argue that there's also, to a certain extent, toxic femininity.
Explain.
So, generally, when people talk about toxic masculinity, it's about the traditional ideas of masculinity that destroy relationships between men and women and also destroy relationships between men, right? Essentially, that's toxic masculinity. However, there's also an issue similar in femininity. These constructs of what being feminine truly means sometimes destroys the mental health of women. So you have to look a certain way, you need to behave a certain way. And some girls just don't want to be like that, and it causes tension, particularly in the adolescent years.
Do you think females suffer with the same ego that, like men suffer with?
Yeah, of course. Of course. Mate, why do you think that so many teenage girls, when they go to secondary school, they start feeling a pressure to look a certain way, dress a certain way? It happens almost instantaneously when they go to secondary school. It's shocking.
Did it happen to you?
Yeah, I noticed it. I noticed a change in girls' behaviours when they move to secondary school because there's an expectation of what they're supposed to be as older women. They have to talk a certain way, they have to dress a certain way, they have to have a certain handbag to fit in. Again, I'm just talking about from my day. Maybe it's different now.
It probably is the same.
Yeah, probably worse because of social media.
Probably.
Back in my day, it was MySpace.
Do you remember your life before social media?
Yeah.
Before there were Instagram models and Instagram influencers and basically
I used to just mind my business and watch. I used to just mind my business and watch Disney Channel and Nickelodeon.
I never had that. I wasn't allowed that.
Really?
I wasn't allowed Nickelodeon. I could only watch that whenever I went on holiday.
Really? So on holidays when you got to watch TV? On holidays when I stopped watching TV?
On holidays, we went to Spain. On a holiday, we went to Spain. And I remember binge watching this dance program with Zendaya. I can't remember what it was called, but it was freaking awesome.
Who's Zendaya?
The girl in Spider-Man.
The young girl?
Yeah. She's like our age. I'll put her up in the thing, don't worry. You know who Zendaya is.
Was she a child actor when we were kids? On what show?
I cannot remember to save my life.
I think we watched different shows, bro. What shows did you watch when you were a kid?
I remember having Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
I didn't have Nickelodeon. I didn't have...
I'm not asking you what you had. What did you watch?
Oh, I didn't have Disney.
So what did you watch?
What did I watch? I remember watching Dennis the Menace.
Right, classic.
I remember the BBC shows, which was like this kind of like variation on Doctor Who, the kids one. That was a good one. I really enjoyed that. It was like this post-apocalypse world where all the adults had vanished. I remember coming home, having a croissant and a cup of warm milk, or biscuits sometimes, from my privileged life.
You had a
And I
croissant
am-
after school. What kind of life were you living, bruv? You disgust me.
warm milk and a cup of tea. And
What the hell?
yeah, man,
I don't-
always. That's the one thing my mum said. She was like, I'm thankful for it. Always gonna have something for you to eat when you get home.
I had a Ribena and a Kit Kat like a man. You're right. I feel like I would have beaten you up in primary school.
Quite probably. I never got beaten up. Thank
Yeah.
God. Never.
Because you weren't ever around real men like me.
Mate, all I really did was homework.
You did homework. We had different upbringings, man.
We
It got
had-
to the point the teacher stopped asking me for my homework. They knew the vibes.
Bro, I would literally, I wouldn't be the guy that would ask for homework.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be the individual that'd be like, oh, miss, you forgot the homework. I'd just get it done and sit there and, like, when it was asked for, deliver it. We had this kind of grading system at school, which was like the effort level. You had your grades,
I like that.
and you had effort levels. And
We've
these
spoken
effort
about this on
levels,
this podcast before.
effort levels were 1 to 5, or 1 to 3 maybe. And so consistently throughout the years, I don't ever think I got never got a 4, I know that. But I once got a 3. And I remember going up to the teacher and asking, why did you give me a 3? And she was like, you're not putting enough effort. I was like, what do you mean? It was in art. Like, what effort do I need to put into art for
Were you
it
good
to
at
be a
art?
1? No, I was terrible at
I
art.
was terrible at art.
This is how terrible I was at art, right? There was one particular one that stands out in my mind. It was a prep project, which is like coursework that wasn't GCSE coursework. So they made us do this from year 7 to year 9. And one of them was to draw a tomato. And there's this whole fiasco in my family where I lost my shit. And they call it the tomato tantrum. My mum and dad remember it so much, right, that when I wanted to set up a company to try or something, they were like, I was coming up with names. They were like, why don't you just call it Tomato Tantrums? You're trying to import tomatoes from Kenya. Just call it Tomato Tantrum. Oh my God. It's still in my name. They have never let it go. Anything comes up, Tomato Tantrum.
How do you draw a tomato?
I have
I feel
absolutely
like that's
no
quite
idea.
hard. How do you draw the 3D shape of a tomato?
Ask my dad is an artist. My dad is a pretty good artist. So
Your brother can draw, innit?
my brother can't draw to save his life.
I thought he could. Your brother looks like someone who can draw.
You think?
Yeah, he looks
My
like-
dad is the only one in our family that can draw.
None of you got those genes. My brother can draw his little arse off.
Can he? You got to send me some of his work.
Not he doesn't draw anymore, but when he was a kid, he used to draw cartoon characters so well, man. Like so well.
Oh, I remember taking a class in year 3, right? Maybe year 4.
Like shockingly well. Now that I think about it. Anyway,
I used to
carry
draw caricatures.
on. Yeah.
You know, like the big heads. I used to draw them. I took a class after school to draw caricatures.
I used to just write death threats.
Why?
Dunno.
To who?
No one. I used to just write them. I was a weird kid. Weird, isn't it?
I would love to know Muhsin. We would not have got on as,
I was a
as
terrible
kids.
kid. You know, I turned up to my year 6 school disco. I turned up wearing camo trousers, a vest
Yeah.
that had a skull on it,
Uh-huh.
and I spiked up all my hair, including the sides.
Oh, we're clipping this in. We're so clipping this
I
in.
was a terrible little child. Terrible little fucker.
Did you have like the front down slightly, or was it all spiked up?
I had it down too. Should I get a photo up of
Yes,
it?
please.
Of what my hair used to look like. I can find it.
I won a Nintendo at school, and I was so scared that everyone would steal it that I remember locking it away in my locker and going to check on it between classes because I wasn't sure if it would actually be there by the end of the day. Made a nice healthy profit of that. Good 150 quid.
Did you ever used to watch Drake and Josh?
I didn't have access to Drake and Josh.
Mate, you missed out. The
I know.
bedroom in Drake and Josh, yeah. My childhood was so... I just wanted to be my favourite characters from films and TV shows. So the bedroom in Drake and Josh, yeah, I was absolutely obsessed with, yeah. I loved it. Like, that's all I wanted was the bedroom from Drake and Josh. So basically, how it worked is...
Was this the one where they were like, there were two brothers, one was on a boat,
They were stepbrothers.
stepbrothers?
You're thinking of Sweet Life of Zack
Oh,
and Cody.
I watched Malcolm in the Middle as a kid.
Malcolm in Middle, elite.
Oh, elite level. And what was the other one with Shia LaBeouf?
So that level of naughtiness
Yeah.
was what
Was
I
you?
was aspiring to, yeah.
Mate, I've seen this photo before.
Yeah.
I had that hairstyle for a while.
I was a dodgy little
It was
bastard.
a horrible hairstyle. Is that your cousin?
It's my sister.
That is your sister?
Yeah.
So you weren't sleeping with
Easy,
her? then?
mate. Easy. Steady on. But yeah, that's the level of bastardry that I aspired to growing up.
What was the one with Shia LaBeouf?
Even Stevens.
Oh, Even Stevens was
Yeah.
elite level. Even
Beans.
Stevens. Beans. Mate, you are Beans. You are Beans. You're an older version of Beans, mate.
He works in a shopping centre now, Beans.
Really?
Yeah, works in a shopping centre.
Bro, he fell off. What
He's
happened?
happy though.
Good for him.
He's happy. Do you want to see what he looks like?
Yes, please.
He's really happy.
Please
And
don't
people
put
come up to him
a
all the
photo
time.
on you of you.
No. This is him now. Time wasn't kind to him.
God damn.
Seems like a really nice guy though.
Beans, if you're out there, come on the podcast, mate. Please.
Frankie Muniz, Malcolm from Malcolm in the Middle, hasn't aged well either.
Has he not? I haven't seen him in like they did child acting and then no one ever saw them.
Did you watch Breaking Bad?
No, I haven't watched Breaking Bad.
Oh, Viraj.
I watched Game of Thrones. I haven't watched Breaking Bad. I got 3 seasons in and I was
You
like,
need
this
to get
ain't
your
it.
shit together.
I couldn't do it. Breaking Bad wasn't for me. I didn't think it was as elite as people make out.
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
I have watched some of that.
Wicked show.
Drake and Josh, I
Wicked
was
show.
not allowed to. That is mine.
No, it's not. That's yours.
No, that's yours.
Oh, you bastard.
Just steal my water. It's COVID, mate. Who do you think you are? Right. Topic of today: women.
What about them? Lovely people. I know some.
Beautiful human beings.
Some of my favourite women are actually women.
I would hope so, seeing as you have a missus. What I want to talk about women. We went to a party on Wednesday. All right.
Yeah, we did actually.
Did go to a party on
It was
Wednesday.
fun.
It was a nice little VIP bar thing up at Glitch Bar. If
Yeah.
you're coming down, that's where we host 1 Minute Smoke.
Yeah, come on.
Come on down.
Turn up.
And great night. Saw some influencers, saw some people, had some fun, got some drinking. And there was this beautiful young lady who was in and around the other people that were there.
Okay. Do you love it?
No, I don't love her.
Okay.
I don't love her.
How
I
dare
don't
you?
love her. What I do find interesting
Yeah.
is why is there a expectation on men or males to go up to the female to ask them out or ask them for their number? And why in this world that we live in do people ask for people's Snapchats?
Okay. 2 reasons. 1, because the girls get the final say, really and truly.
I don't want to jump in your pants. I just want to go and have a coffee.
They're welcome to ask for your number. I've had incidences where girls have asked for my number. I mean, I don't mean to brag, but I've seen it happen.
No, I've never had that in my life.
I've seen it happen. And also, the Snapchat thing is a younger generation thing, man. I don't ask for girls' Snapchats.
I find
I
it
ask for
very
their
weird.
Instagram. I don't ask for their number.
But how is that? I asked for their number because it's a more kind of like connection. Ask for their Instagram.
Well,
it's
that's
like,
why you need to build up to that bit. You take incremental steps. You don't go straight for the number. It's like having unprotected sex with a girl you don't know. You don't do that. What you want to do is, you want to ask for the Instagram first because it's safer. It makes everyone feel more comfortable because there's a little bit more arm's length. Number is, a lot of people just don't give their numbers away anymore for security reasons. People feel more threatened when you ask for a stranger's number.
So I asked this girl for a number. She was like, I don't really
Even
give
when I
out my
met
number.
you, I got your Instagram before I got your number. So why should it be different in a romantic situation?
You know, I've never considered it like that.
Yeah,
I
you
just
should.
thought it was like you. Here are my intentions. If there's me asking for your number,
Well, I think and it's not a not, but I think it's something you're going to find challenging. You're more open and straightforward than a typical person. So although you're willing and your intentions are good, they don't know that about you.
mate,
How
I've
could
had
they?
to scale that back massively.
Yeah,
I used to preach about radical transparency and whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
it works to an extent, and you have
Yeah.
to, and it's different for every single person.
yeah. Not everyone's going to be the same as you. You know, especially women. This day and age, women unfortunately have to be more careful about who they interact with because there's a lot of dirty creeps out there. They don't know that you're not a dirty creep. You need to show them that you're not a dirty creep.
So, if you've
You might
got
be a
this
murderer.
woman's, if you've got this woman's Instagram, you got a girl's Instagram or whatever, you slide into their DMs, you shoot your shot, whatever you want to freaking call it, right?
Do you love her?
No.
Okay.
How do you make sure that it's surefire, i.e., it's 100% success rate?
There is no such thing.
Well, someone needs to develop a way. Your
Bro.
line didn't work for the first time
sorry.
ever. It did not work.
I'm sorry, but there's no sure thing. They're either gonna like you or they're not. They're either gonna be in a position where they're looking for that stuff or not. There is no sure thing.
I thought I tailored it really well.
No, even if you're Drake, it's not a sure thing.
No, if you're Drake, it is a sure thing.
That's different, actually.
If you're
Yeah.
Drake, it's a sure
Yeah,
thing.
maybe.
You are most likely getting a
I'm sure Drake's been turned
first
down.
meeting.
Yeah.
Rihanna.
Oh yeah.
But anyone else in the world, yeah, 100% sure thing.
Yeah. Drake's also light skinned, so he's probably in his feelings a lot.
Yeah, but Sad Drake is the best Drake. Sad Drake and Drake is two ends of the spectrum. But I have never. I think I was on the way home after getting this girl's Instagram and preying her feed. I was just thinking, like, I have never actually in my life dedicated time to going out and like hitting up women, or just like going out of my way, going to bars, or
Why
just
should
even in
you?
the SU. No, but you know, some people think like a bit of your childhood is missed by that. I kind of feel that way sometimes. Like I've missed a bit of my childhood or my adolescence where I don't go out of my way. Not go out of my way, but I don't like actively seek out women.
I feel like the guys who actively went out to pull were the least successful in pulling. I think if you just demonstrate good vibes, you go out to have a good time, you're generally gonna end up having a pretty nice night.
What define good vibes?
Just go out to have fun, and if something happens, it happens. But if it doesn't, so what? It shouldn't be the be all or end all. It's always enlightening when you realise that meaningless sex with strangers won't make you happy.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
It's great fun for that moment, but you require an intimate connection. Meaningless sex. This is why friends with benefits is like weird. Have you ever done friends with benefits?
Not really. It doesn't work.
Doesn't.
Someone always catches feelings.
But that's all
Doesn't
right.
work.
That's all right. It comes to a natural close.
It shouldn't be called friends with benefits. It should be called person with benefits, asterisk. This is probably going to go terribly wrong somehow.
Have you ever? Okay. Are you friends with people that you slept with?
No.
Never.
I have been, but not anymore. I'm in a relationship.
So like, but you'll be
I consider it disloyal.
you'll be civil to individuals if you've met them. So if you met them on the street, would you say hi?
If I was forced to,
If you were forced to,
I'd avoid it.
really?
Yeah. 100%.
Mate.
I'd avoid it.
I've partaken in activities with women, and obviously at university you see them afterwards, and I wouldn't be the type of person to go out my way around and just try and avoid them. I'd just be like, hey, how are you? Just have a normal conversation.
Yeah, but we know your feelings on this.
Yeah, it's different. It's
So you're with your missus, yeah? So you're with your missus, and she bumps into a guy that she was sleeping with, right, before you. You're just going to be chilling.
I'm pretty sure it happened, didn't it, to you?
Pardon?
I'm pretty sure it happened to you.
To me?
Yeah.
No.
Did you not bump into someone with your missus that was her ex-partner?
No.
Well, I'm
Who are you
tripping.
thinking of?
Different person.
You are definitely thinking of
Different
someone
person.
else. No, that's never happened to me.
I would love to see your reaction if it
I
ever
wouldn't
did.
be composed.
You wouldn't?
No. I'd be like, come on, buddy. Want to take this outside?
Boxing match, 12 rings, let's go. I don't know, man. I just
that's
feel
never
like
happened to me.
I was just like, I've not been in my fields, but I feel like I'm never going to find love or find any sort of emotional connection to
You are
people.
12 years old, Viraj. You've got your whole life ahead of you.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm just
Yeah.
going to be this uncle that is like, rocks up to the party in a Ferrari or a
You're
Porsche.
definitely going to
Be the fun
find
uncle.
someone, right?
I might not even have kids. Who knows?
You'll
I'd
find
love kids.
someone when you stop looking for them.
Mate, I'm not looking. I'm not
Then you'll
going
find
out of
someone.
my way to find people.
You
I
will.
just
You will.
seize opportunities when they arise. You see a beautiful lady, you ask like, "Hey, can I take you out to dinner?" Or "Hey, can we go for a coffee?"
Yeah. Keep doing that. I'm not being sarcastic. Just keep on that, and eventually, you'll find someone that you care about. But these people
I
who
don't
try
care
and
about all of them. I love them all. I love
when
them all.
people start trying to put formulas
I've
together,
got too much love to give.
when people start trying to put formulas together to find the missus, it's not going to work like that. Or a man.
I read.
You're just going to find someone. When you find someone, it's going to be good vibes, and then you're going to be like, "Yo, do you want to be my missus?" And they're going to be like, "Yeah, sure." Or they're going to be like, "Nah." And then you just move on with your life.
Have you
It's
ever been
okay.
rejected?
Yeah, of course, man.
But when it got to the girlfriend stage, like get to the missus stage.
Viraj, I've broken up with people. I've been broken up with.
Yeah.
I've had people who've liked me more than I've liked them. I've liked people I like more than them. I've had the whole
I've
spectrum.
seen it all.
I've seen it all, mate. I've seen it all.
I've had one meaningful relationship in my life, and that lasted a month.
Well, she passed away, so it's different.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. It's funny.
whenever we bring up our past partners or exes, you go, R.I.P. to them.
Yeah. Not them, the relationship.
I'd love
relationship.
to like just meet up with her and be like, hey, can we go for a coffee and just chat? Nothing.
That's not going to be good for anyone.
No.
Why?
I have no feelings.
No.
But
Alright,
it's
so
like
why?
it's like seeing an old friend.
Why?
It's like
Why?
seeing an old friend.
All right, let's dig into it deeper. Why?
Why?
How many of your old friends do you want to go for a coffee with?
Quite a few actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Male or female, just to catch up.
No, you
on
don't,
life.
bro. You don't.
See how they're doing.
You kind of want to go with a coffee with someone you've seen previously, a bit more than just your mate from year 8, though, don't you?
No.
Yeah, you do.
Nope.
Yeah, you do.
Same
I've seen your
difference.
eyes.
Same difference.
Mm.
It's exactly the same.
Mate, all those situations are doing are just setting you up for contemplation for things that don't need to be contemplated.
But
anymore.
I'm so past it now. I'm a completely different person on the outside.
Exactly. So why
I'm
open
more
Pandora?
of the person that I should have been then.
So why open Pandora's box for no reason?
But is it opening Pandora's box?
Yes, it is.
I don't get that.
It
I just
is.
don't see the world like
It
that.
is. It's because you've never done it. Take it from Uncle Mumu. It is.
I don't see it like that, man. For me, it's just I'd love to see them. I'd love to catch up. I'd love to see.
When
like,
you broke up,
how's your
how hard
family?
was it? It was hard, wasn't it?
No, I was flippant, so like my ego got in the way, and like I fucked it all up.
That's because back then you were V, not Viraj.
This is very true, but like it hurt afterwards, of course. Like I didn't realize that I was in love, and so
You didn't realize you were in love.
yeah,
Interesting way of putting it.
I didn't realize I was in love. I didn't realize till afterwards until it became the catalyst for my depression.
Because you didn't know what you had until you lost it, mate.
This is very true, mate.
You had something good, and then you thought the grass would be greener, and turns out the grass was fucking dry. It was dry as fuck.
This is true. This is true. I tried dating afterwards, and
Yeah.
it didn't work out. I was too depressed.
I always find the way my mum talks about relationship is interesting, and I put a lot of value in it.
Say that again.
My mum, whenever she talks about relationships and marriages,
Yeah.
she always says, "Oh, this person picked the right person," and I think that's a good way of thinking about it. Picking the right person.
But you have to meet people to pick the right person, right?
And you can never be too sure if you pick the right person. 60% of marriages end in divorce. But I think sometimes people think they're in love with someone, but they don't love the person. They love the idea of that person.
This is true. This
Yeah.
is true. I wasn't sure. I was probably at that stage where I was like, I'm not sure if I love you
Or the idea of you.
or the idea of loving you.
Because, not even the idea of loving them, just the idea of them. They'll be like, "Oh, so tell me about, you ask someone, tell me about your man or your missus."
Yeah.
And they'll say stuff like, "Oh, he or she has this amazing job at this
High flying company or
high-flying
whatever.
firm. They do this activity, they do this, they go on holiday here, they have this talent." Okay, so do you like their CV or do you like who they are? Because there's a big difference.
When we met your missus for the first time, you never said any of that.
No.
That's key. That's one thing I remember.
Just
You were
put
like,
on a
she's a...
headlock and I said, "You're here now." You're fucking here. Say
You
hello.
did.
Say hello.
I think you did on the first time we met.
Say hello. Be friendly.
Oh man, I was so depressed afterwards. Right, I bought my car, my little Mazda,
Yeah.
and for a long period of time, I remember just finding myself gazing over into the it's a 2-seater, so the gazing over to the left hand seat, just being like, someone should have been here.
Oh,
Someone should have been there with me, enjoying this, hair in the wind, like just rolling around.
Because it wasn't going to be your hair, was
Yeah,
it?
it was. No, I had hair back then. I had hair. It was good times. There was some left, but yeah, I was expecting more, and it didn't happen. And for some reason, like I always found myself kind of gazing and looking and being like, what if? Past that now. Car's got to go. We got too much kit to deliver and move around to places. So I guess that chapter in my life closes. Early midlife crisis.
Mate, again, you had an idea of what it was going to be like. Or what's the reality?
But you always have an idea of what it
but
was
you got to
to be
let
like.
go of
Do
ideas.
you not want to take your partner to, or your missus, or if you're gay, your male partner, whatever what do people call them? I don't know.
Your
But you boyfriend to Winter Wonderland, or to like go out shopping and go for a coffee date.
But I also deal with the reality of situations. The idea, "Oh, we're going to go to Winter Wonderland, then we're going to hold hands. And we're
I didn't say the holding hands, mate.
And we're going to win them a teddy bear, and then we're going to go ice skating." Or you're going to go, your feet are going to be a bit cold, right? You're going to wait in a queue.
Is this the
right?
reality of Winter Wonderland?
It's the reality. The burgers cost £9, yeah? The reality of taking your missus to Winter Wonderland is very different to the idea of taking your missus to Winter Wonderland, which is fine, right? You can do all these things, but people who deal in these fantasies have a hard time in their relationships because they only have to deal in the reality when they get there. And they build up these things in their head of how great it's going to be, and then when they do it, they're always let down, rather than just going with the vibes and enjoying the shit and the good with your partner, and taking it for what it is. Your relationship's never going to be this amazing fantasy where you're both happy all the time and everything's perfect and everyone just says what they feel all the time. That's not life. It's not going to be life. And even if it is life for the first 6 months, when you're married and there's kids involved, it's easy for your missus or your boyfriend or whoever to be perfect now, right?
Yeah.
Because there's very little cost. It's very easy for them to be supportive, loving, happy now.
Are you breaking down a relationship into opportunity cost?
But that's just it's the reality of the situation. Will you still love your partner and care for your partner when the chips are down and things are hard? Because not every day is going to be Winter Wonderland. It's just not. Do your parents wake up every day and skip down the road together to buy strawberries?
Absolutely not.
But your mum and dad love each other because of everything they've been through. They've stayed firm.
Yeah.
They've had arguments. They've had great memories as well. You ever seen your parents' honeymoon pictures?
They didn't have a honeymoon.
Right, okay.
No, they did. They went to Milan. But that's not the honeymoon pictures I look at. They went, I'm not sure when it was. It must have been after they got married, but they went sailing around the Caribbean.
Yeah. Your marriage isn't going to be one big pretty party. It's going to be ugly at times.
That doesn't mean I don't want the nice bits.
And then eventually, you're going to stop. She's going to not be the person you love more than anyone anymore. You're going to have kids, and you're both going to love that kid more than you love each other. And then how do you deal with that? What do you do for that kid? What do you do for your family?
I will
Those are the
let you
questions
know
you need to
if
ask
I ever
yourself.
have kids.
I think pragmatism in relationships is important.
Do you think you're pragmatic in your
I
relationship?
think so. I'm a horrible little person, so it's easy to be pragmatic.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just in my feels. Maybe I need to go listen to Tyler's depression playlist.
Don't do that.
It's a dangerous playlist, man.
But yeah,
I feel that at some point I should have another relationship.
what are your expectations for a relationship?
No, I don't have any expectations
Good.
for a relationship. My expectations are probably the people that I'm surrounded with that are in relationships, i.e. you. And my parents, I guess. I don't really know anyone else. And so, like, it gets to that point where it's like, well, my whole idea of relationships is based on yours and then what you see on social media.
I think
But
sometimes
social media is just a highlight reel.
I think sometimes people in relationships forget that they're also their own person, and they lose their identity. Their identity becomes their relationship.
Your identity becomes your relationship.
I feel like it's more common with women for that to happen.
Yeah, I guess so. You're still Muhsin, though.
Yeah,
Your
exactly.
missus is still your missus.
Exactly, and that's how it should be. I think some people forget that they are their own person. They're entitled to have their own viewpoints on the world.
But is that because you're not constantly joined at the hip?
Yeah.
So you
So it should
actually
be.
have different lives.
Yeah.
You're not 24/7, 365 cooking dinner together. And there's nothing wrong with that. But like if you go out, I can go out with you and
Yeah.
then I enjoy it if we go
Yeah.
out with yourself and your missus. I
Yeah.
don't mind being a third wheel. I think it's
Very
alright.
strange when people feel like if they invite one person that they have to invite the partner like they're a package deal. It doesn't have to be like that. Still your own person.
Do you ever have conversations with your missus if that happens?
No, it's understood.
It's understood.
Yeah, it's like unwritten.
Was it always like that? Or
Yeah,
not?
yeah. Do you know why? Because we don't put weird pressures on each other.
Not with your current missus, with missus of the past. Was there an expectation that if one person invited you, you both had to go out? Shisha me.
I can't even remember, possibly in the first one, maybe, yeah, maybe. But my first relationship, I was very young in it, so I was like 16, so everything goes out the window. But all those rules go out the window when you're that young, because you're not adults, you're babies. You're just trying to work out how to be an adult. You're just trying to work out how to be a human being, and you're terrible. When I was 16 in relationships, I was like a little jealous little fucker because I hadn't developed into a proper human being yet. I always find it weird when people tell their boyfriend or girlfriend where they can and can't go. You either trust them or you don't.
I find that weird. I find that weird. It's like, well, who are you to tell me
Is she
what
your
I can
boyfriend
do?
or your girlfriend, or is she your child? You either trust them or you don't.
Would your
Like
missus
what?
trust you to go to a strip club?
I don't even know. I'd have to ask her. You know.
That's a good question.
I don't even know. That's a good question. I'm not in a rush to go to one though, to be honest.
This is true.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it. I think it'd be interesting.
I've been to a strip club.
Have you?
Yeah.
I have
It
it.
was weird.
My
I
brother
felt
has.
uncomfortable. I felt like I was in the scene in Taken. Genuinely, I feel like the girls didn't want to be there. It was in Czech Republic.
You went to a strip club in the Czech Republic?
Yeah, when I was 17 or 18.
I think the closest I've got to that, I walked into a brothel in Dubai by accident.
Yeah.
That was a scary moment. I thought it was going to be raided, and I got the hell out of there as fast as
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, a brothel in Dubai isn't a place you want to be. Those two things don't go hand in hand, bro. It's extremely illegal.
But you'd be surprised. Tinder out there is literally just prostitutes.
Really?
20, like the whole of it. You're just swiping right on or left on prostitutes.
Interesting.
Here is my WhatsApp. This is how much I cost.
I respect that.
It's a weird
I bet
dynamic.
Tinder hate that.
Probably.
It's not good for their brand image.
Probably. Doesn't matter how far you increase the radius. It's just prostitutes.
In a relationship, all you can do is bring your best at any given situation. Try and support the person you're with, but also acknowledge you're not perfect, they're not perfect. People are going to say things they don't mean sometimes. Sometimes people are going to have short patience with things. And don't put them on this impossible expectation, right? Don't put them on this pedestal that they're never going to meet because you wouldn't want to be in that situation yourself. Your partner has no right to be perfect.
Do you strive to be better though in a relationship?
How so?
Okay, so let's say like you've done something and you're like, actually I can probably spend more time with her so that I can get to know her feelings a little better. I can try and understand her a little better.
Yeah, of course. You have to. You have to try and come from a place of understanding. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Do you actively do it, like consciously do it, or do you kind of just
You always have to take perspective. In every relationship, even our friendship, you have to perspective take. You might say something that I don't necessarily agree with. I'm like, all right, where did that come from?
Yeah.
In any even with your parents. You have an argument with your parents, let's say, right? And sometimes you've got to understand, where is that coming from? Is this targeted at me? Or is there a frustration in this person's life? And have I just been at the short end of it?
Yeah, I agree. I agree that happens all the time. All the time.
You got to, in life, if you don't perspective take, you're going to be a very unhappy person because you're going to think everything is targeted at you, and very rarely is it.
I do think that sometimes when it comes to relationships, and my lack of is like, why, what am I doing wrong?
You're
in
not
this
doing
case?
anything wrong. You're not.
No, I have considered it. I
Right.
know I'm not doing anything wrong. I have considered it, and it's just a learning curve. Each time you meet a different individual, it's like a muscle that you've got to build up in terms of understanding how to navigate the female mind, because it's completely different to a man's mind. Yeah, and every human being is different, but there are some kind of like genetic. I feel like there's genetic code in women and men where a lot of the things are the same.
You want to hear something?
Go on.
I think men need women more than women need men. And I think it sounds a bit weird, but I think it's almost ingrained into our relationships with our mothers and how nurturing mothers are. And we weirdly...
Is this Freud speaking?
Kind of, not really, but yes. I think there's a certain... Women are better at dealing with their emotions, and I think sometimes some men need a good woman to help them understand their own emotions.
But do you think that is because
They don't have to deal with their own emotions.
No, do you think that women are better with their emotions?
Yeah, they are.
Because they have to, once a month, they go through this whole like kind of destruction of their body whilst they're on their periods, and they have to act as if they're normal, and so it's built up over time.
I don't think it's necessary to do with their cycle. I think it just has to do. Women spend more time acknowledging and trying to understand their feelings about things, whereas men, you know that joke I made at the start about shove all your feelings in a box.
Yeah.
That's a joke, but that's very real for a lot of men. That's why the suicide rate amongst young men is so high.
You know, in Bangalore, it has the highest suicide rate for kids.
Why?
Because they can't face coming home with bad grades, so they just jump off their little skyscrapers.
Jesus Christ, man.
It's crazy. I don't know why I know that stat. I can't remember why I know that.
I only got bad grades in school.
You would have jumped off a skyscraper then,
No.
or the little like built housing blocks.
In school, all I did was get bad grades.
Did you chase tail in school?
What does that mean?
You don't know the phrase chase tail?
What does that mean? Like chase girls?
Yeah, chase girls.
Yeah.
You
Big
did?
time, big time. Yeah, all the time.
So you got it out your system.
I was in secondary school. I was always trying to chat to girls. It was like a full-time job. I'd come home from school and I'd be straight on Facebook and BlackBerry Messenger just chatting to girls.
I didn't have a BlackBerry, so that never came.
I'd be meeting up girls, going to the cinema on the weekend, going to shisha.
Did-
At 14, I'd be going to shisha with girls.
I didn't have
the
any of
weekend.
that. Didn't have any of that. None of that. For me, it was just education, straight up. Tutoring, doing activities with mum and dad. That was it.
Education was just this thing I had to do. My childhood was based all around just being a little bastard and having a good time.
My childhood was based around education.
Yeah.
Fully, just straight up. Maths,
Soccer.
English, sciences, that.
Boring.
I wouldn't say it was boring. I enjoyed, like, I got to this point in my life where I did enjoy doing like deep work. You know, when you kind of like, you
Yeah.
got some good music on and you kind of just like start figuring stuff out and things start clicking and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing. I had a lot of those points, but in terms of life lessons or,
Yeah.
or building up some sort of lessons with females or like friends and stuff, that came probably in sixth form and then uni and then post uni.
See, mine was always about my social life since the age of 11. I was basically out doing something with people basically every day. I'd be out going to this social
So did
event,
you like your
parties.
alone time or not? Or did you always have to be
I
around
did, but I was
people?
going through puberty, so I'd just go home and cry for no reason.
Swear.
Yeah, I used to do that all the time. During puberty, there was this weird phase for like 6 months. I'd just go home and cry. It was so weird, man.
But at school you were completely normal.
No, I went through a phase where I went through like a month or so. I remember this so clearly. Where I wouldn't chat to anyone at all because I was just puberty was just kicking in heavy duty.
When puberty kicked in for me, I had a massive argument with my dad. I remember cycling into the woods, and this is where my punk boy rock kind of phase took over.
Delilah.
It literally
Yeah.
just stuck. And ever since then, if I ever need to tap into something really dark, I go
Yeah.
there. And I need some energy that I don't have, I just go to that point, stick on like Machine Gun Kelly or Fall Out Boy. And we're
Machine
like,
Gun Kelly, really?
Mate,
Damn.
that shit is different. On leg
Yeah.
day, wow.
First time I got drunk was at my sister's engagement party. I was 14. I was like nicking alcohol off the tables at the party. And I got really drunk. Yeah. Probably didn't even drink a lot, but when you're 14, it doesn't take a lot.
Oh, you're gonna love my story.
And I started crying and chatting about this girl I had a crush on.
Yeah.
And I kept insisting that I was going to walk to her house. And I was hugging people, telling them that I just loved this girl.
Interesting.
Oh man, it was rough. I tried starting a fight with one of my brother-in-law's best men, a grown man. He obviously didn't fight me because he was a grown man. He would probably just sat on me.
It's your sister's
Started a fight
engagement
with
party.
two like Eastern European guys outside
What
the middle of Wood Green.
You were a crazy motherfucker. My first time getting drunk. This is a story and a half. So you know I went to boarding school. Didn't
do.
board, but I went to boarding school. And there was a party that weekend. I think it was a Saturday, and we had Saturday school. So stay after Saturday school, get changed, whatever, right? And it was a hot day. So I borrowed a pair of my mate's shorts. These bright blue shorts.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's probably some pictures somewhere. And we started doing shots in the boarding house, and we made our way down. And this guy had told us it was like, oh, it's a quick walk from school. Bro, this walk was like an hour and a half. I was like, what is going on? I was so drunk by the time we even left. I was like, what the hell is going? Like, I can't even look straight. And we're walking down this main road, on the road, trying to get to this place. Like a road with a 50 mile an hour, 60 mile an hour speed limit. So we get there, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's coming to the end of the year, so I've got my my leavers book with me. I'm like trying to get people to sign. Don't know why I decided to do that, but yeah. Get there, there's beers, there's barbecue cooking, and I'm like, okay, so to sober up, I'll have some beer. I won't take any of the vodka shots or vodka drinks, whatever it was. I think we're drinking gin that day, and gin is disgusting, though. All I remember is I ended up going to someone else's house to get them to sign my book, to walk back to this party, passing out over a Stella, about who was going to have this Stella with a girl. And remember the start of the story. I changed into these blue shorts. Yeah. So a good 3 hours has gone. The police have turned up and gone. My mum and dad have called me a grand total of like 12 times. They've even gone to the house that they thought that I was at, and I wasn't there. So I finally come round, and I'm on the sofa, and I'm in the jeans that I started the day in. I have no idea how I got into these jeans.
God.
So we get to school on Monday. Oh, wait, no, but I get home. My parents come and pick me up. No, I get dropped off home. I try to act like I'm not drunk. And my dad wanted me to go cycling with him the next day. Didn't make it up. I was like retching up absolutely nothing in the toilet, but I was okay the next day. I didn't have a hangover. Ended up going on a spa day with him. And during his bike ride that I was supposed to go on him with, he fell off his bike. I was like, oh my God, this is going to be the worst flipping like 2 days of my life. But it was okay. It was all right. I came out unscathed. Turns out I had somehow gone from the backyard to the front of the house, passed out again there while the police had turned up and gone, with me just sitting in a gutter, in like the gutter of the house. Like it's graveled. And they've got like people were taking pictures with me, and I then somehow found myself in a toilet with two girls who were putting on my trousers for me. Skin tight jeans. I went through this phase, like skin tight, like skateboarder type jeans.
same.
Yeah,
I used to wear those.
can't even get them over your thighs.
Super skinny in Top Man.
Super skinny, but not stretchy skinny.
Yeah.
Super skinny.
Yeah, I
jeans,
remember those in Top Man.
And they were grey. They were like silvery grey. I don't know what I was going through, but and then ended up on the sofa, and I was like, huh? That was the first time. The second time I got drunk was at a Polish company do that my dad worked for. They ship everyone out.
Yeah.
And great time with all of his colleagues. But in Poland at parties, they put vodka on the table and they put water, and they don't tell you which is which.
That's good.
In jugs.
You'll find out pretty quickly.
Found out very quickly.
Yeah.
Found out very quickly that I was drinking vodka straight and not water. Mate, I was so screwed. I ended up dancing with the CEO's mum.
When that happens,
And she
you're just
started
waiting
hitting
for
on
it
me.
to kick in.
Oh my
It's like
God.
the first time I did edibles. It's just a time bomb. Yeah.
Thankfully, I was in a house and not anywhere else when we did edibles for the first time. Mate, the CEO's mum started hitting on me.
Really?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
No, legit.
No. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
We don't want to get sued by a Polish company, so allegedly.
He knows. His mum knows.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
But that was a good time. I had to look after my dad, even though I was drunk, and we had a flight to catch at 6 a.m. the next day. We got
I feel
home
like
at
that's
2.
nice for your dad, though. I'm kind of looking forward for the first time my child comes home drunk, and I'm like, oh, you welcome to life.
They were not happy
Yeah.
at all. The second time was fine because we were away. We were like, whatever, right? But yeah, I remember talking to one of his colleagues drunk. I don't know what I said, but he was like, "Are you drunk?" I was like, "I think so."
Yeah.
I was at the back of this venue, this like massive marquee, just kind of just pouring what I thought was water into my glass.
Turns out it was straight fucking
Just
alcohol.
straight flipping Polish
animal.
vodka. They are animals.
You savage.
Great time though. Great time.
Oh man, what a time to be alive.
I've never done that since.
Yeah.
And then uni's kind of just like everyone does the same thing and nothing crazy happens.
At uni, you just become a professional alcoholic.
This is
You get so good at drinking.
in freshers, the guys I ended up living with, one of them, we went out for. I wasn't there actually. I decided to stay in that night, but they went out. He made his way back home to Watford from Egham without his phone and his wallet. Sorry, with only his phone and without his wallet.
When you get an Uber,
No, he took the train
that could have gone badly.
and he didn't buy a ticket, allegedly.
I mean, at the time you can get away with that. No one's gonna stop
But it
you.
was the wildest thing because he ended up in his own bed and he didn't know how he got there.
Yeah. That's kind of creepy when you wake up like, whoa.
Or maybe he didn't have his phone and we found his phone in the bush outside of where he was praying. But it was the wildest. That is by far one of the wildest stories I've ever come across.
One night I got drunk at uni and I kind of zoned out. And then when I came back to, I was sat in a collection box
A collection box.
Charity collection box. Just sat in it.
What?
Yeah, in Chuk. Just sat in it in my uni accommodations.
Mate.
I came to it and I'm just like, why am I sat in a collection box? Good times, man.
That is freaking wild. I don't think I passed that in my own, like in, when we had our own place in second year.
Yeah.
But I don't think I passed that in first year. Maybe I think I did once, right at the end of the year.
I won't tell the whole story, but the last night I ever went to the SU.
This is the best. This is the best story.
Ali tells the story the best.
Oh,
so,
no. Oh, mate. Ali's got to tell this story.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's so class.
I had a deep, meaningful conversation with an Uber driver as to why he should open an Indian restaurant where there's no Indian people. And I gave him a whole business plan for it, and that's all I remember.
Was this on the way to the SU or the way home?
On the way to the SU. That's my last memory of the night.
Well, how? I don't understand how people function, like, when they're that drunk.
Mate, the next day, that was a 3-day hangover. I was struggling. The next day, we went to the calf, Golden Calf, right?
Golden Calf and Egham.
And I'm trying to eat my baked beans, and my hands going like that because from all the alcohol. Oh, so bad, man.
Do you remember the first time you met me? Sorry, the first time you went out with me?
Yeah. Again, we should save those stories for when Ali's here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Oh, man. But you need those memories, those drunken mistake nights. Those are good for you.
I haven't had one.
Character building.
I haven't had one since coming out of uni yet.
Yeah.
It's funny how life changes. You live in this little bubble.
I teach at a university, and I always find it interesting thinking to myself, wow, I know these first years, last night, they were probably half of them are probably extremely hungover right now, and half of them probably don't want to be here because they're hungover, and I'm just thinking, those were the times.
I called up we got a family friend that's gone to uni, and I called him up on the way home from our last podcast, and he was like, "Oh, can I call you back in 20 minutes?" I just chuckled to myself, knowing full well that was not going to happen.
Yeah, because he's going out.
I said, because I remember saying the exact same words to my mum. Oh, let me call you back in 20 minutes. Just don't call her back till the
20
next
minutes
morning.
turned into days.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I remember my first night going to the SU at uni, right? And I remember stepping into the SU and going, okay, I'm already liking this. And then I remember I got really drunk, and then we hotboxed in some girl's room afterwards, right, in her toilet. And I remember I kind of crawled into my uni room at like 6 in the morning. I just looked around and I was like, uni is like a hotel that you live in with your mates, and it's designed for partying. If you go to a campus university...
You thought that?
Yeah.
On the first day?
I was like, this is like a hotel for partying. Because Royal Holloway, the uni we went to, is a campus uni. The classes are on the same campus. The SUs, the nightclubs are all on one campus.
And it's not like
your accommodation is on one
it's
campus.
not like a bus ride away. It's literally walking distance.
It's a stone throw away. Everything is a stone throw away. So I remember coming home thinking, I'm literally at a hotel for partying.
They're fun times. My first day was the kind of like, not blackout party. It was like this kind of like psychedelic, where they got the neon lights and everyone's got stickers on. That was my first one. That was a good introduction.
Oh, the glow in the dark kind of parties.
Parties. And the next night I went out, I didn't make it out the block.
Do you remember the phone party? Did you go to your phone party?
I did go. I went to one phone party and I never went again.
I lost my t-shirt in the phone party.
How does that happen?
I took my t-shirt off because why not? And then
I would understand because it's so warm in that SU.
And I felt like I was going to dive under the foam. Bear in mind, I'm quite short. So I was literally like, people were pushing me down and jumping up and down. I was like, I'm about to drown in foam right now. That must have happened. Like,
well, people drowning in foam? I don't think you can drown in foam.
Can you not?
No.
I felt like
it's
I
not
was.
thick enough.
I felt like
Probably
I was drowning
so
in
drunk.
it. Oh man, that was so much fun. I got in an argument with a guy who used to be in the army in the toilets, right? And
I once got into an argument with someone at the SU. I made sure that was the only time ever.
And I remember he goes, mate, you don't want to mess with me. I used to be in the RAF. And I went, ooh, RAF! Like that. And then it just kicked off. And we had to be separated. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, wherever he is. God knows how that even happened. Oh, man, what a time.
What a time to be alive, eh?
Yeah.
We've got some more stories.
Oh, man. Good times. Right, we've done... That flew by. 50 minutes.
50 minutes.
Should we wrap this up?
Let's wrap it up.
How do you want to do this? You do the promo. I always do the promo.
Yeah, because you enjoy doing the promo.
You do the promo.
All right, take the shisha.
Threaten someone.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the 28th of October, we will be hosting 1 Minute Smoke. Please come down. Go and, I don't know, like, bring your dog, cats, threaten Priti Patel, Boris Johnson, and who's the other bald Asian guy? Who knows?
Sajid Javid,
Is that his name?
probably.
And there's Rishi Sunak. Bring him down as well if you want. Bring him with you. Who knows? But 1 Minute Smoke, 28th of October, 8 till 10. You can get your tickets at the link in the bio. Please bring everyone humanly possible. Dave Chappelle's going to be there. Yeah, I'll have you know. Dave Chappelle is coming to our comedy show. He may or may not turn up, but he said he's coming. Right? We know him personally, all right? Yeah, Muhsin's going to go chat to him tomorrow at his show. No, Muhsin's going to see him at the show. But 1 Minute Smoke, 28th of October, 8 till 10. Tickets at the link in the bio. Come along. You'll have a good time.
Love me.
Peace.